Hi there, and thank you so much for joining me again. It's been about a year since the Redshift landed on my desk, and now with firmware 1.7, I'm happy to report that this synth is now officially complete. Now, I know that might sound funny if you're unfamiliar with this machine and its development these past few months, but if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, and I'll leave a link down below, here's a quick summary. The Redshift 6 is a 6-part multi-timbral hybrid synthesizer with an innovative sound engine based on the digitally controlled analog Demon core oscillator, which allows for up to 16 oscillators per voice for up to 96 oscillators of unison. Each one of the 6 voices can also do up to 5 note paraphony, which means you can pretty much build an entire set around this thing all by itself. It has a multi-mode variable filter which allows you to select and even blend multiple types of classic and modern filter characters, ranging from warm analog vibes to harsher acetones and a whole lot more in between. The reason I say complete between air quotes is that when the Redshift first landed, many of its functions were still not actually present on the synth itself. If you press down on the effects or sequencer button a year ago, the screen would simply say coming soon. And understandably, this made some people pretty uneasy, but the team at Supercritical had a very clear roadmap for the synth's development, and they have delivered consistently on their promises. And now, at the end of July 2026, I'm very happy to report that the Redshift doesn't have any buttons that lead to the coming soon messages anymore. In this video, I want to share a few of the latest updates to the firmware, as well as some of my thoughts on this instrument after having it in the studio for about a year. For full transparency's sake, please note that Supercritical sent me Redshift to review at no cost, but no money changed hands and they have no say over the contents of this video. If you're already subscribed, huge welcome back, my friend. If this is your first time here,
hi, welcome to the Midlife Synthesist. Let's get started.
Now, since the last time I had the Redshift here on the channel, there have been 3 major updates that I want to show you. 2 of them vastly improved the synth's capabilities as a live performer, while the other continues to make the case that the Redshift might be one of the most capable hardware synths for sound design on the market right now. The sequencer is 32 steps, and you select it by going into the engine, and there you go. Now here you can have up to 32 steps, and you have step length, of course. And you can adjust a couple of parameters on a per step basis like gate and velocity, so useful but nothing Electron or Oxy 1 level. Where it does get interesting though is that the sequencer is polyphonic, meaning each step can have up to 6 notes, and you can set it to chords or inversions of set chords. So for example, if I'm here on Rec and I have advance on off, there we go. So I have all of these notes recorded onto that one step. Now, if that's all it did, I wouldn't give it a second look, but what really caught my attention is that the arpeggiator and the sequencer is per part, meaning you actually have 6 independent sequencers running at the same time. So for example, if I go into part 2, this has an independent sequencer running, which can also be an independent length. So this could be 20 steps, and part 3 can have another sequencer with, let's say, 32 steps. You can effectively compose an entire multi-timbral sequence here right on the Redshift. Now that's a really cool concept for a synth, and I really hope that Supercritical develop it further. For example, allowing for different patterns or even something like a song mode down the line. But as it is, it's a really cool way to come up with ideas directly on the synth. Let me show you what I mean. take a brief moment to thank today's video sponsor, Analog Cases.
For a long time now, one of my favorite backpacks for carrying gear has been the Track Pack by Analog Cases. It's really comfortable to wear and its storage space is huge, being able to even fit the Ableton Push 3. Well now, they just came out with a new and improved version, the Track Pack Roll. This baby has all the things I loved about the previous version, but it comes with wheels and a retractable handle, so you can switch to roll mode if you don't feel like carrying all your gear on your back. It has a side handle, a cushioned internal divider pad, and a dual USB port so you can hook up your gear to your phone or power bank without having to open up your backpack. If you're looking for the perfect carry-on to take your gear with you on your next flight, definitely check out the Track Pack Roll. And remember to use my code at checkout on their website for a discount on your next purchase.
Thank you Analog Cases for sponsoring me and other creators like me. Now back to the video. The macros button. When you press down on the macros button, you're taken to a menu that turns the 8 screen encoders into macro knobs. Each one of the knobs can be assigned up to 14 simultaneous destinations, which is pretty wild by itself. Assigning the macros is pretty straightforward. You just press down on the macro and select a destination, mod amount, and Bob's your uncle. Now remember, you can have up to 14 of these, so I can just, keep going, and hopefully this doesn't sound like crap. Let's see what happens. You get the idea. Now, as I said before, both of these features together combine to make the Redshift a really strong live performer, but the final update makes it actually go into modular synth territory. I'm talking about maths. Basically, math grabs a signal source like an LFO or an amp envelope, and it modulates it further by combining sources or scaling them, inverting or transforming them. It's like having a small Eurorack module without the patching cables. Okay, so to demonstrate, I'm going to make an initialized patch here. And I'm going to go into maths, and let's take as a source LFO1. Nothing's happening, right? I'm going to route maths into the cutoff. And now I can modify this signal and I can shape it any way I want. Now, if I change the engine, I can further tweak it. So, yeah, the example might be a bit dry, but you get the idea. And so on and so forth. Now, the Redshift has come a long way since its arrival, and according to the team at Supercritical, even though it is now currently in its completed form, they still have plans for future updates and new features down the line, including plans for new DCO models that should expand the sonic palette of the synth even more. At this point, the Redshift 6 is an absolute beast of a synth, and it's definitely one of the most interesting and versatile instruments I've had the pleasure of exploring in my synth journey so far. If you enjoyed deep sound design coupled with lots of light performance features, definitely check this out. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, or at least entertaining. Have a great week. I will see you next time.